Real pleasure to be here this morning to talk with all of you about AI. Delighted it's here, but also really happy, Amanda, that this is happening again across the country through the rest of this year. So really, well done to the Open UK team. Now, the discussions today are about different aspects of the AI stack. And what I thought I'd do is, just to help ground the conversations, offer some reflections on what happens when you apply the open source ethos to AI models and data for good, and what that means for people and communities around the world. Because when we talk about AI for good, I think the important questions are not just what can the technology do, but who gets to use it, who gets to build with it, and who gets to shape how it develops. So let me just share a little bit about some of the things that I've seen and learned. Now, Meta's commitment to open source, many of you will know, is long-standing. In 2011, we launched the Open Compute project, sharing our data center designs so the entire industry could build more efficient, more sustainable infrastructure. That project has since grown into a major global industry consortium. In 2013, we open sourced React, now one of the most widely used tools for building user interfaces on the web. And in 2016, we released PyTorch, which has been mentioned just now, an open source deep learning framework that within a few years became the dominant open source framework for AI research worldwide. And both React and PyTorch don't belong to Meta anymore. They belong to separate independent foundations sitting underneath the Linux Foundation, and I think that is a great development. The pattern is consistent. Open sourcing foundational infrastructure creates ecosystems, not just tools. Barriers come down, and a much broader set of people and institutions are empowered to build, to innovate, and to solve problems that matter to them. Now, that philosophy guided our approach to large language models with Llama. When we released the first Llama model back in February 2023, the prevailing view was that frontier AI models necessarily had to be closed. And we took a different view. Since then, Llama has been downloaded over 1.2 billion times. It's used by developers, researchers, enterprises, and governments around the world. And I think what we've learned is that the role open models can play remains really compelling. Developers benefit from the flexibility to fine-tune models with their own data. Institutions have more options to control their own destiny with a choice of hosting options. And openness supports security as well, as demonstrated by the suite of protection tools we make available for moderating outputs and detecting malicious prompts. Now, as many of you will know, our newest model, MuseSpark, launched this April. And as Alex Wang, our Chief AI Officer, explained on the Core Memory podcast last month, AI models today are significantly more powerful than they were even recently, and that means safety evaluation has to be taken extremely seriously. MuseSpark triggered certain safety checks in our testing, primarily related to biochemical and cyber capabilities. And these are all documented in the safety and preparedness report that we published alongside the other materials. But as a result, in its current form, it wasn't suitable for open release. Nevertheless, we are excited to continue supporting the open source ecosystem. On the same podcast, Alex mentioned that the team is working on developing new versions of our models, and that we hope to be able to share more in the coming months. As he put it, we will continue open sourcing models, but we also have to take safety seriously. I think that's the right framing. It's pragmatic and reflects the evolving nature of the technology we're working with. But of course, open source AI work extends well beyond language models. So I thought I'd share a few other favorite examples that I've seen over the last little while. In computer vision, our segment anything model, SAM, can identify and segment any object in an image without task-specific training. This is really powerful. Conservation X Labs is now using SAM3 to power next-generation camera trap analysis for wildlife monitoring. And together with Meta, they've released Safari, the world's first large-scale open data set of 10,000 annotated camera-trapped videos spanning nearly 100 species, giving conservationists tools that were previously unavailable. Also in computer vision, our Dino V3 model powers a global canopy height map developed with the World Resources Institute that uses drone and satellite imagery to detect individual trees at 1 meter resolution anywhere on Earth. And this is incredible. It is 10 times cheaper than traditional field monitoring. It's already supporting 28,000 restoration sites across Africa, where it's giving smallholder farmers the evidence they need to attract restoration finance. And the data from this project has also been integrated into global and national conservation efforts, and the European Commission has integrated it into its global forest baseline map. Or in translation, the No Language Left Behind model is a single AI model capable of translating across 200 languages, including 55 African languages. We partnered with the Wikimedia Foundation to use it as the backend for Wikipedia's content translation tool. And our omnilingual ASR model, open sourced last year, extends speech recognition to more than 1,600 languages, including hundreds never previously covered by any speech technology. So what excites me most is what happens when these tools reach people who are working on problems that matter. And we've worked hard to support this. Through our Llama Impact Grant Program, we've made awards designed to spur innovation around the world, supporting people using open models to tackle challenges in healthcare, in education, agriculture, and digital inclusion. Last year, we ran a Llama Impact Accelerator across sub-Saharan Africa, working with partners in Nigeria, Senegal, Kenya, and South Africa, supporting founders building AI-powered solutions for their communities on their terms. We've partnered with UNESCO on language technology, gathering speech data and improving AI translation for underserved languages. And slightly more technical, we have open-sourced Boxcrete, which is an AI model that uses Bayesian optimization to design concrete mixes that are stronger, faster curing, and reduce the amount of embodied carbon. And we've already used this to design and deploy an AI-optimized green concrete mix at a new data center in the United States. So those are some of the examples and reflections of our journey and trying to work hard with the community to make sure the benefits are felt broadly around the globe. Let me just close with a couple of observations a bit more closely related to policy and sovereignty conversation. So in a joint piece last year, Mark Zuckerberg and Spotify CEO Daniel Ek just noted, among other things, that Europe has more open source developers than America. This is important for our future here in the UK and in Europe. Open source helps ensure that power isn't concentrated among a few large players. It creates space for startups, researchers, public institutions, and civil society to participate in shaping how AI develops. So I think the task for all of us, industry, policymakers, communities like this one, is to make sure the environment supports that regulation is proportionate and innovation friendly, that we get the balance right between safety and openness, and that the extraordinary potential of AI to do good in the world is something that everybody can participate in. Thank you.